What's up guys, it's me Jeremy. The patch 5.3 notes are out, and among other things, the Silver Spell Shield bug is finally fixed. Anyways, let's go over the major changes that occurred as well as my rundown and analysis of patch 5.3. Let's get started. Starting with the changes to champions. There were a few, but not too many major ones. The first being that Sona actually has a bug with her base stats, which turns out to be a pretty decent buff. And it's only going to last a short time while Riot tries to fix the bug, so the base stats buff will definitely help her a reasonable amount if you can take advantage of the bug while it lasts. Next is the most significant champion change, which are the Ahri nerfs. Increased mana cost on her Orb of Deception and lowered damage on her Foxfire, as well as lowering the max targeting range of her Foxfire and ultimate. The mana cost and damage nerfs are actually kind of insignificant, and so I would honestly expect Ahri to still be really strong in the next patch, potentially even one of the strongest mid laners still. However, the range nerfs actually do kind of hurt a reasonable amount and will make playing her Kite Mage playstyle that Ahri wants to do now at least a little bit harder. It's hard to tell how significant the range nerfs will be, but they definitely do make her a little bit harder to play, although I do definitely think she will still be really strong. There was also a nerf to the damage on Azir's Conquering Sands, as well as lowering the range on the auto attacks of his soldiers. Now once again, just like with Ahri, the damage nerf is fairly insignificant, but the nerf to the range is actually a pretty big deal. Unlike with Ahri, I actually think this nerf is pretty big. Azir will definitely still be somewhat strong, but I doubt he will be ban worthy anymore since his poke and zoning in lane will not nearly be as dominant as before, and since he's pretty hard to play, I would expect him to not be as heavily banned in patch 5.3 as he was in patch 5.2. And now for some of the minor changes. There was a nerf to Gnar in that his Mega Gnar form will last 4 seconds less, and the debuff after his form changes will last for 2 seconds longer. This should make abusing Mega Gnar in lane a little bit easier to face, but it actually doesn't really affect Gnar that much in teamfights, since you were never really going to get more than one Mega Gnar form off anyways, so it only really hurts his laning power a reasonable amount, and as such he'll definitely still be really strong. And Gragas had the slow on his barrel increased, which is a pretty cool buff to Gragas support among other things, but it's not really a huge buff, so he'll still be pretty weak. Kassadin also had the damage on his Null Sphere reduced, but it's not really significant since his mobility is of course just as insane as ever. And now for the items. Both of the upgraded versions of Farsight Orb and the green ward version of the Warding Totem received major buffs. Wow, like holy cow, these items are actually now ridiculously overpowered, and if you're going to stick with the orb or the totem for the entirety of the game, you should honestly upgrade them the instant you hit level 9 when you back. Farsight Orb now drops a ward that cannot be teleported to, but reveals enemies who pass through it, and of course the ward lasts for 60 seconds. And the Greater Stealth Totem now stores up to 2 charges, generating a charge every 60 seconds, while the ward lasts for 120 seconds. If you're using these trinkets without upgrading them, you're actually going to be missing out on a ton of value from the mere 250 gold it costs to upgrade them. They're well worth it and will easily pay off as the game goes on, so I highly recommend picking up these newly buffed items. And in addition, Spectre's Cowl received a minor buff in the form of increased health regeneration by 50%, which is actually somewhat significant if you think about it, and it gives the item a lot more laning strength for tank top laners playing against AP bullies. So it's a nice buff to tank tops who can build Spectre's Cowl during the laning phase. And lastly, the new game mode Nemesis Draft is finally being released. It's a game mode where you draft the champions that your opponent plays for them, and I played it a little bit on the PBE, and honestly I don't know, it was okay I guess, but it definitely wasn't as fun as I thought it would be. Either way, it's coming out, and you should probably at least give it a shot for yourself. And that just about covers all of the major changes. My name is Jeremy, and that's it for my video on patch 5.3. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button so I can tell, and be sure to check me out over on all the socials, of which you can see on your screen. And if you really enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe for some more awesome content in the future, or check out some of my other videos on your screen as well. And above all else, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.